Hi folks, thanks for tuning in. I've been meaning to do this short video for a while. When I go out on board a motorbike and I take the GoPro Hero 10 with me, traditionally mounted on my chin like that, I've often wondered what effect the different lens settings would have within the camera, because I always just use this one here, the max lens mod, which I stick on. I'll just try and get you a close-up of that, which I stick onto the lens. That levels the horizon as well as giving you a wide field of vision. To be honest, I've noticed that the horizon leveling isn't so important on the max lens mod, because whichever way I'm leaning over, I sort of keep my head vertical just to get a good perspective on the road anyway, so my head's doing the leveling anyway. So that's why I thought I'd start experimenting, like I say, on board the GoPro Hero 10 with the different lens settings. So without further ado, providing the GoPro doesn't freeze or crash like it normally does, we should have a video out of this which you will find informative. I'll also give you my verdict at the end of the video and tell you which setting I'll be choosing going forward. So let's hop on the bike.
And we're off. Now, as you can see, I'm on the Aprilia, and the reason I've chose this is because it's a sports bike, obviously, and I'm leaning forward. So that's really where every inch counts. Stop. Otherwise we'll never get through this. But in terms of camera angles, that's where every inch counts. That's where I need the maximum angle on the height of the picture and the width of the picture, which has spurred me on to do this test. Alright then, let's get cracking. Before I explain the different camera angles, I'll tell you first of all the hyper smooth I have in standard and not in boost. The reason for that is because hyper smooth is an electronic stabilization tool and not a floating lens option, not an optical stabilization. What I mean by that is, to stabilize the picture, it crops in. So if you want to get the maximum angle out of your picture, keep your hyper smooth in standard. Right, so first off, this is the Super View. It's in your menu as SV. And I can see straight away that I can see both my hands on the handlebars, which are great. Both mirrors, great view of the dashboard. Doesn't look too curved either. I have a bugbear about seeing the curve in the picture. Doesn't look too curved. But what is nice is that there's quite a good height to the picture, so you can see the sky as well, so you're not just looking down towards the cockpit of the bike and a little bit of road ahead of you. You can actually see where I'm going. So I'll just ride like this for a short while, just so you can have a good look at the picture. Wow, look at the fields flooded like mad here. Didn't think we'd had that much rain here. Okay, I'm going to stop the bike, as I will do on every camera setting. I'm going to stop the bike and switch it into the next setting. And now I'm in the wide setting, and you can see that it's cropped the picture quite a bit. Indeed, I can't even see my hands. So as well as cropping the picture widthways, it's actually cropped the height a little bit as well, because I can't see the top of the road, and the camera position hasn't moved. It's locked solid as it was in the previous setting, and like I say, you can't see my hands as well when I'm riding straight. So this is the wide setting. And now, and again, the camera hasn't moved at all. I'm in the linear setting, and I've got the horizon leveling switched on. Don't know why, but to be honest, I wouldn't contemplate using this setting at all on the motorbike. It's more for when I'm off the bike, because it's quite a narrow field of view, the linear setting. I think it's equivalent to a 35mm on a full frame camera, so it has literally cropped the field of view by half compared to the Super View. So the horizon leveling, by the way, on this is absolutely brilliant. It keeps it rock solid up to about a 30-degree tilt angle. but like I say, I wouldn't use it on board the bike, not for when the GoPro is on my chin. Great for pieces to camera when you're walking along with the camera looking back at you. Does keep it rock solid. And this is the Max Lens mod, which of course when you take off the lens to fit this one, you have to select it within the menu system as well. It's just a one button thing. But the interesting thing about this is that you can't record in 4K with the Max Lens mod on. Maximum resolution is 2.7K, which is okay for most YouTube videos, to be honest. Now I can see straight off it's given quite an increase on the height of the picture, so you can absolutely see the road and the sky on top of that. What it hasn't done is to allow me the width to see my hands on the handlebars. So whilst it's increased the height of the picture, it's decreased the width compared to Super View. I'm just going to angle the camera down for the first time. Bearing in mind it's been locked rock solid. I'll stick cruise control on. Okay, I'm just going to angle that down a little bit there now. Just to... So that's... yeah, that's alright, except what it has introduced, I can see, is that horrible curve to the picture, which I couldn't live with. That goes back to the early days of GoPros with that horrible fisheye. So I absolutely don't like that. Cruise control is still on, so I'm going to angle the camera back up to the original camera position, which was that. Now it's still got a bit of a curve in the picture, not quite as severe. Okay, time to get all of this footage into the edit, and I'll do a little voiceover at the end once it's assembled, and I'll tell you which I prefer. You might tell me in the comments as well what settings you use and which one of these settings you prefer. Okay, off to the edit.
Okay, well, you might have guessed already, but the perfect angle, certainly for this motorbike or any other sports motorbike, is indeed the Super View. It's actually far superior to the Max Lens mod. What was I doing for the last couple of years with the Max Lens mod on the GoPro 9 and 10, thinking that that was going to be the widest field of view? I should have done this test a long time ago. Anyway, so yes, the clear winner is Super View, and that is the angle that I shall be using from now on. Another thing to note is because I'll be using Super View, it means I can play around with ND filters, because as far as I know there's no ND filter to go on the front of the Max Lens mod. So that's great, because I have a set of ND filters which I just haven't played around with at all because I've always had the Max Lens mod on. Basically what ND filters will do for your picture is to, apart from increasing the contrast and the clarity of the picture, especially on sunny days, it'll bring your shutter speed down, which in layman's terms means when you're riding past trees, rather than getting that horrible strobe effect when your shutter speed is far too high, especially on a bright sunny day, you can bring your shutter speed down just to get that nice motion blur. Really does create a much more cinematic feel to your shots.
Okay, so I sort of knew without even having to go into the edit, just from looking at the back of the screen, that the Super View was going to be the clear winner for me. So where I will use the Max Lens mod, actually, as if I've ever got a GoPro on the front of the handlebars here looking back at me, which, to be honest, I don't think I'll ever be doing again. I won't go into the reliability of GoPros because you're sick of me harping on about that, but I mainly use the Insta 360, the 1X2, to get that shot of myself, as well as close-up shots of the dash and shots just looking straight out over the road, because it's normally mounted around here, apart from when I have it sticking out the side of the bike like this, to get shots of me wherever, you know, just at different angle. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning into this short video. hope you took something from it. It's a test I've been meaning to do for ages. So once again, the clear winner is Super View for me. That's the angle I'll be going forward with, well, literally going forward with on a motorbike, and when I have the GoPro on my chin. Be interesting to try it out on an adventure bike, my BMW or something like that, or indeed the Royal Enfield, when I'm sitting upright, to see if it's actually too wide. But then if you're shooting in 4K, you can always crop in post. Okay, once again folks, thanks for tuning in. I'm Dave Perry, Really Good TV, over and out.